What's your why? What do I mean by that is, do you have a why? And what do I mean by that? What's all this about for you? Because today's not coming again. It will be tomorrow. And once you're in tomorrow, that's never coming again. So you're alive for a certain amount of time. Do you have a why? Now, people may say, well, yeah, let's talk about today. People may say, I'm going to work today. Why? Because I've got to pay the bills. Why? There's got to be more. You need more than just pay the bills. You need more than just survive, because that's what paying the bills is. That's what just going to work is. That's surviving. If when you get to the end of all this, do you want to have just survived, or do you want to have lived? Now, and it's certainly not too late. People think it's too late to find a why. It's too late to... Literally, if you woke up this morning, it's not too late. There are some people who've not woke up this morning, who didn't wake up yesterday, didn't wake up the week before. I don't want to be doom and gloom, but it's a reality, because the reality is you're going to die at some point. But with the time you have left, that hopefully is going to be a long time, while you're enjoying this wonderful golden gift we have called life, that's better than any amount of money, than anything else you can possess. If you have life, you have a chance. If you have a chance, you need a why. Now, what do I mean by a why? What's your why? What is your why for today? Now, that's really short term, because you've not planned what your long-term why is. So your why today will probably, whatever I say to you now, whatever you listen to right now, will still probably be to survive. That's okay. That's okay. But as long as you then start thinking about, okay, I'm going to create a why. Now, what is a why? Let me talk about my why. My why has changed so many times over my journey. And there are times when it's had to change, where I've had to force a change, or where change has been forced upon me. My why from coming out of school and college, or whatever it was to own a business and make lots of money. If I really look back, and I had a picture of a BMW, I think, at the time, and it was to have a BMW. What was my why? To have a BMW. I got a BMW. And that was a why for me. That was, I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want to have, and I was just about to say I want to have choices. I don't think that was the case at the time. I didn't think of it that way. I just wanted money, because what I thought it represented to me, it represented success. And that was my why. And that was my driving why. And I achieved it. I absolutely achieved it. But the problem for me was the why was wrong. My why was wrong. It was there. I embraced it. It became part of my DNA. It became every part of who and everything I was. But it wasn't the right why. And that is why it all went wrong for me, because my why wasn't authentic. My why wasn't real. My why wasn't what I truly wanted. I'd fallen into the trap of society, of what I thought everybody else would want me to have, or what I wanted other people to see me having. So it was about building a business and having nice cars and nice houses and Range Rovers and all those things. And that was my why. That's how I got there. There is only one reason I got there. Now, I then became an alcoholic because I drank too much. Now, it sounds really bizarre, but that was a why for me. Why? Because I wanted to escape. Why did I drink? Because I wanted to escape. That was the why. I wanted to escape. I wanted to escape the fundamental unhappiness I'd created in my life. I'd got money, I'd got all these things, but why was I unhappy? And my why for drinking was to escape. Now, alcohol then has an awful habit of dragging you in, and it's addictive, and your why becomes really, really muffled and dull, because you just want drink, you just want alcohol, and that's what I wanted. But what I did, it wasn't particularly I wanted a band, I wanted to escape. That was my why. My why for drinking was escaping what I'd created, even though it looked super successful on the outside. So I had to go to the other side. And then I found another why. I found a why of, I need to get sober. And that was my why. Literally for a number of months, maybe a year, my why was, I must stop drinking. And then it became, I must get sober. Very different to stopping drinking and being sober. And then I had to create a why of, then I had to be happy in sobriety, because when I first got sober, that was my why, get sober. But I didn't work on a why. I just worked on being sober. And I was again unhappy. But the problem was I had nothing to dull the pain. And then I really, really spiraled. So, but then, for the grace of whoever, the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, I then by reading and watching and really throwing myself into mindset, I understood what a why was. A why needs to be a compelling desire to be something, go somewhere, be someone, feel something, and act like that. And my why now, I have a very definite my why. My why is to do what I do now, to talk about mindset, to work with clients on motivation, to work with clients and organizations and do this type of thing because I genuinely believe it makes a difference. And people may not like me saying that, but I get lots of negative comments, but I get lots and lots of positive comments. That's my why. If I can feel as though I am creating, and because of what I went through, if I can create what I'm creating and enable you who's listening, or the certain people can then go, yeah, I get that. If he can, I can, then that's a why for me. But there has to be more than a why. I've got to make money. I'm a single parent of my daughter. I have to pay the bills. I have to give her a life. I have to be able to spend time with her. That's another compelling why. But it's a really important why. It's not a responsibility why. I want to do it. It's my why. I want to engage. I want to have fun. I want to go and watch Arsenal with her. And that's a why. So that's a lot about my why. What's your why? Do you have a why? Now, I talked recently about taking advice from certain people. Be really careful when setting a why, because your why is your why. It's nobody else's. It's nothing to do with anybody else. What is your why? In your heart, what do you truly want? What will truly inspire you? What will truly engage you? What really excites you every day? Now, people will say, well, I've got to go to work. Yes, I know you've got to go to work, but I know two different sets of people who probably do the same job. One person hates every minute of it. The other person loves every minute of it. It's the same job. It's the same building. It's the same world. But they have different whys. The one who enjoys it has a why. They want to engage in work. They want to be, because there is a much bigger thing around work for that person. It may be, I want to go and do that job because it gives me enough money to be able to do this. But then the rest of my life, my evenings, my weekends, my days off, my holiday, I can go and embrace. I can go and do this. And it can be anything. It could be for other people. It could be for yourself. It could be your family. But there needs to be a why. As I say, same people doing the same thing, living the same lives with the same amount of money. One's happy, one's unhappy. I'll guarantee you the one who's happy has a why. What's your why? What do you want in the time you have left to get out of life? When you get to the end, do you want to be able to look back and go, yes, that made me happy, that fulfilled me, that engaged me, that was authentic? So you've got to ask yourself why. How do you start? You stop doing, no, you keep going to work and you keep doing what's needed. You keep your responsibilities, but then you find time, instead of Netflix or the pub or something else, stop, sit down. Start writing, not on your phone. Get a notebook. You can still get notebooks. You can still get a pen. Write down what inspires you. Don't just try and write down a why. Write down what you love. Write down what you are grateful for. Write down what you really, truly would do. If somebody said to you, there is no chance of failure on this goal, what would you write down? If somebody said, there is no chance of failure on this goal, what would you write down? Now, it's difficult because when you start writing, you might start letting your subconscious brain and society and everything you've been taught tell you, that's not possible, that's not possible, that's not possible. The goal you write down may not immediately be the goal you actually want to go for, but it will give you a platform to start really thinking about it. Some people will say, I just want to be rich. Okay, yeah, I get that. People want money because they can pay the bills and whatever. But when you say, people say, I want to be rich, okay, I'll say, why? What do you want to be rich for? What are you going to do with the money? What are you going to spend time doing with that money? People say, I'll travel the world. And then when you really drill down into it, well, I don't really like traveling. I don't like flying. Well, so therefore, why do you need money if you don't want to travel? Do you see what I mean? So there are lots of things that you think you might want, but probably aren't true. And therefore, you're not really going for anything. You are existing. You are surviving. Do not spend the rest of your life surviving. What you must do, instead of going through the process every single day of surviving, stop. Find a why. Find a reason, a compelling and authentic, a reason that really burns in your heart, a reason that makes you smile, a reason that can make you cry with joy. Some days I do. Some days I sit with my eyes filled with water because I know I've found something and I'm on a mission and I'm on a journey to go and do my why. Go and find a why. Don't look for other people's whys. My why's not your why. Your Auntie Mary's why's not your why. Go and find something. But then you can't just sit on the sofa and manifest this why. You have to go, I think I've got a why. I can now really start to bring color to it. Write down what that why really is. Write down what it is you truly want. Write down all the little subsections of what that would mean to you. Write down all those little parts of that would enable me to do that and that. Write it down. Don't just think about it. By writing something down, you multiply by hundreds of times the chances of it ever happening. Not just a thought. Write it down. But then when you do, you then start creating an energy around you in your why that, believe it or not, will start showing you little opportunities to get there. It's like the car analogy. And it is true, this. If you don't particularly know about a particular car, and then you talk about a particular car, and you then like a particular car, and you've never seen it around, but as soon as you talk about it and like it, you start seeing it. It's mad. That car was always there. You just didn't notice it. Right? If you've got a why and goals and passions and one thing you want to go for, at this moment in time, if you've not written it down, if you've not compelled yourself to it, if you're not absolutely fixed on it, you won't see opportunities to go and do it. When you compel yourself, when you write it down, when you manifest it, guess what? Those opportunities will start popping up. They were always there. The universe was giving them to you all the time. You just didn't see them. Probably you weren't ready. The time wasn't right. This is about finding a why. I will talk about manifesting on another video. People talk about manifesting and I go, oh, that's great. But before you really can engage and really embrace manifesting, you need to find a why, your why. Not the person who's on the video telling you, not mine, not your Auntie Mary's, your why. Finding a why, finding a reason, finding a passion, finding something truly authentic can be a wonderful exercise. It's far better than watching some random thing on TV, because when you engage in it, you will feel something different inside you. You will feel a new energy you've not felt before, maybe. And that's exciting. That's better than a pint, let me tell you. I do it every day. I'm constantly looking at my why, constantly adapting my why, constantly working towards my why. Find a why. What's your why? And think about it. Embrace it. Write it down. Take it on.